Friends of Islam, this time the Islamic faith is back before you to share Islamic information. I hope it inspires your activities today, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and activate the bell button notifications so you don't miss the latest news from the Islamic Faith channel. America is in an uproar. This mosque remains intact during a major fire in Los Angeles. In the midst of a major fire that engulfed a neighborhood in Los Angeles, the Al-Ikhlas Mosque remained intact, becoming the only building that survived the flames. This extraordinary incident attracted the attention of the public, the media, and various parties, creating debate about whether this was a miracle, luck, or just a rare natural phenomenon.
My best friends have lost their homes, but they're alive. We've lost a dear member of our church, but she's with God, and our whole town is grieving.
However, behind the media spotlight, the Muslim community at Al-Ikhlas Mosque faces a major challenge. Slander began to circulate, accusing them of being the masterminds of the fire to attract attention. Before enjoying this story, let us together send prayers to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Write prayers in the comments column as a form of our love and respect. Enjoy. Los Angeles is a city full of different cultural backgrounds and beliefs. In one corner of the city stands a small mosque called Masjid al-Ikhlas. This mosque is the center of activities for the Muslim community in the neighborhood. Every call to prayer sounds melodious, calling people to worship. The Muslim community around the mosque lives side by side with their neighbors, not only during prayers, but also in various social activities, such as charity bazaars and learning to recite the Quran. However, everything changed on the night of the fire. That day the weather was very hot, and the mosque community was busy helping disaster victims in other parts of the world. Everyone, from teenagers to the elderly, was busy organizing items to be sent. Suddenly, the flames spread to the surrounding neighborhood, creating a huge chaos. People ran out of their homes carrying valuables. The fire was rampant, leaving behind black debris. However, there was something that left everyone stunned. The Al-Ikhlas Mosque, located just a few meters from the wood shop, remained intact. There were no signs of fire. On its walls and even the small trees in the courtyard of the mosque remained green, as if nothing had happened. News of this soon spread. Disbelieving locals came to the site to see for themselves. Local news media began covering the incident. A television reporter said in surprise, "In the midst of this destruction, this small mosque stands unscathed. How is this possible?" The reactions of the community around the mosque varied. Some Muslims believed this was protection from Allah. One of the worshippers, named Ahmed, said, "We believe this is a sign from Allah. This mosque is a place of worship and goodness, and Allah protects it." However, not everyone agreed with this view. A neighbor named Margaret, who lives a few houses away from the mosque, said, "It's possible that the wind and the structure of the mosque kept it out of the fire. I don't believe in supernatural things." Fire experts have also begun investigating. They are looking at the mosque's construction, its distance from the carpentry shop, and the pattern of the fire's spread. Senior firefighter Tom Harrison said, "We haven't found a definitive explanation, but it's very unusual." Life after the fire. After the fire, the Al-Ikhlas Mosque continued to operate as usual. The mosque community also took part in fundraising for the disaster victims, raising far more than expected thanks to media attention. However, not everything went smoothly. Some skeptics believed that the incident was being used to promote religion. Some even started spreading conspiracy theories, saying that the mosque had secret protection or used unusual fire-resistant building materials. While hope grew amid the reactions, one thing became clear. The incident had united the community. People who previously did not know each other were now talking together and helping each other. The Al-Ikhlas Mosque became a symbol of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. But the story was not over. There are many mysteries left unanswered, many new relationships formed, and many challenges to come. What really happened that night? Months after the fire, the Al-Ikhlas Mosque remained bustling. However, outside pressure was beginning to be felt. Several local politicians tried to exploit the incident for their own personal agendas. Meanwhile, experts continued to investigate in an attempt to uncover the truth behind the mosque's miracle. The extraordinary events that befell the Al-Ikhlas Mosque continued to be a hot topic in Los Angeles, and even spread to the national level. People from all over the city came to see the small mosque that had remained intact as the fire consumed most of its surrounding neighborhood. The mosque that had once been known only to local residents was now gaining worldwide attention. But behind the extraordinary attention, the Al-Ikhlas Mosque community was facing a new chapter in their journey, one filled with challenges, puzzles, and burning hopes. A week after the fire, a private investigator named Benjamin Cooper arrived at the scene. Benjamin was no ordinary investigator. He was a former fire engineer with more than 20 years of experience. He was known as someone who was skeptical of things that were considered miracles. When he heard about the mosque that had remained intact, his curiosity was immediately piqued. Benjamin brought sophisticated equipment to inspect the mosque's construction. He examined the walls, the roof, and even the foundation of the building. "I want to know what the secret is. Everything has a logical explanation," Benjamin told one of the reporters who followed him. However, Benjamin's initial inspection left him even more confused. The mosque's structure and the building materials used seemed ordinary. The mosque was also not far enough from the wood shop to avoid the flames. He found himself wondering, what really happened here? On the other hand, the massive media attention also had a negative impact. Several conspiracy theories began to emerge online. Some said that the mosque was protected by secret advanced technology. Others accused the Muslim community of deliberately setting fire to the wood shop in order to gain media attention. A controversial YouTuber uploaded a video titled, "The Truth Behind the Los Angeles Miracle." The video attempted to attribute the incident to mystical influences. The video quickly went viral, sparking debate and speculation. However, the mosque community was undeterred and remained focused on their goal, serving the community. Meanwhile, Benjamin Cooper continued his investigation. After weeks of analyzing data, he finally discovered that the wind direction had changed suddenly on the night of the fire. The change was caused by airflow from a small passageway between the buildings that diverted the fire in the opposite direction to the mosque. The lower temperature around the mosque was caused by trees in the courtyard of the mosque that provided extra humidity in the area. However, there was one final factor that still amazed Benjamin. The roof of the mosque, made of ordinary materials, did not catch fire, even though sparks fell on it. After further analysis, Benjamin found that the structure of the mosque's building pointed to an unusual pattern, but he still could not provide an adequate explanation. Although he was reluctant to admit it openly, the mystery of the night of the fire remained an unsolved puzzle. Amidst the intense media attention, Imam Yusuf accepted an invitation to speak on a national television show. The show was hosted by a well-known presenter, Jonathan Ray, who was known for his sharp questions. The interview became tense when Jonathan asked, "Many people believe that your mosque is protected by supernatural powers. What do you think about that?" Imam Yusuf smiled and replied, "I believe that what happened was the will of Allah. However, we must also remember that this mosque is a place of worship, and we guard the mosque with great care. This miracle is not only due to supernatural powers, but also because of our collective efforts and prayers." After the interview, tensions in the Muslim community increased. Some people were still skeptical about the incident, and pressure from outside parties increased. But Imam Yusuf and the mosque community remained steadfast. They knew their journey was not over. There was still much to be done to maintain peace, fight prejudice, and demonstrate true kindness. In response to the rising tensions, Imam Yusuf decided to hold a large event at the mosque, called the Night of Brotherhood. The event was held to invite all residents, regardless of religion or background, to come and share a meal together. The goal was to strengthen relationships between residents and reduce prejudice against the Muslim community. That night, the mosque courtyard was filled with people from all walks of life. Margaret, who had previously been skeptical of the mosque, helped distribute food. Emily was busy interviewing people for her new article. Even some who had previously been suspicious of the mosque began to open their hearts. But amidst the warm atmosphere, a middle-aged man suddenly stood up and shouted, "This is all just an act. You burned the store down to gain sympathy." The crowd immediately fell silent, and all eyes were on the man. Some began to argue, but Imam Yusuf calmly approached the man and said, "We don't need to fight hatred with hatred. Let's discuss it calmly. The man fell silent and eventually left. Although the incident had created some tension, the fellowship night was a success. The mosque community grew stronger, and many who had previously been suspicious began to see the positive side of the Muslim community. With the slander exposed, tensions eased, and the community began to accept that Masjid al-Ikhlas was a place that brought goodness to many people. The mosque has now become not only a symbol of resilience, but also of unity amidst diversity. Margaret, once a skeptic, is now an active volunteer at the mosque. Emily, whose writing helped change public opinion, sits with the youth of the mosque, talking about their future plans to help the local community. Ali, once a hothead, has learned much from Imam Yusuf's wisdom. He told a young man in attendance that night, "Patience and kindness are our strongest weapons." That's what I learned here. Imam Yusuf, with a wise smile, delivered a short speech. The events of the past few months have taught us all that despite our differences, unity and kindness are the strengths that can overcome anything. We are one family, one community, one Los Angeles. The speech was greeted with thunderous applause. The extraordinary incident that befell the Al-Ikhlas Mosque has become an important lesson for many people. The mosque is not just a place of worship, but has become a symbol of hope, unity, and strength to overcome all challenges. Los Angeles, once known as a city full of beauty and life, has now turned into a city that is almost uninhabited. The devastating fire that hit a few months ago has left a deep mark. A neighborhood that was once bustling and full of activity is now only rubble and destruction. The uncontrolled flames burned much of the city, destroying homes, shops, and residences that have long been part of the city's identity. Previously, Los Angeles was a place filled with cultural diversity and people from various backgrounds. Along the busy streets, the sounds of laughter, music, and the hustle and bustle of everyday life filled the air. However, after the devastating fire, many of the streets are deserted. Empty buildings stand as if abandoned, and the air that is usually fresh now feels hot and dry. The beauty of the city that once captivated visitors is now gone, replaced by the destruction that has struck. However, amidst the destruction, there is one place that remains standing strong, the Al-Ikhlas Mosque. Although the surrounding area was engulfed in flames, the small mosque remained intact, the only building that survived the disaster. This incident became a phenomenon that attracted the attention of many people, both from within the city and outside the city. The Al-Ikhlas Mosque is not only a symbol of physical resilience, but also hope for those who are still surviving the tragedy. Meanwhile, outside the mosque community, Los Angeles, which was once bustling, is now increasingly empty. Many residents have lost their homes or chosen to leave the city that now feels foreign and scary. The devastating fire left a deep mark on the soul of this city. However, although many have left, there are also those who choose to stay, such as the Muslim community at the Al-Ikhlas Mosque. They choose to continue to help each other, trying to restore the spirit that once existed in this city. The story of the fire that hit Los Angeles and how this mosque survived symbolizes the struggle to maintain hope in the midst of a major disaster. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection said the blaze began around 10:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. The fire was driven by what the National Weather Service called a heat storm. Winds were estimated to be 50 to 80 miles per hour, 80 to 129 kilometers per hour, with certain areas in the mountains and foothills of Los Angeles, expecting gusts of 80 to 100 miles per hour, 129 to 161 kilometers per hour. Wind, according to Islam, is one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creatures that is subject to his command. Wind is mentioned in the Quran with two forms, Ar-Ri and Ar-Riyah. Both are the soldiers of Allah Almighty, who sends them whenever He wills, bringing good news and blessings or bringing evil and curses, and both are mentioned in many places in the Quran. Ar-Ri in the context of goodness, while Ar-Riyah mostly in the context of evil. Imam Abu Mansur As-Sa'alabi said, لم يأتي لفظ الريح في القرآن إلا في الشر والرياح إلا في الخير. The word ar-rai in the Quran is only mentioned in the context of evil, while ar-riyah is mentioned in the context of goodness. Except in 4 verses, namely Surah Yunus verse 22, Surah Shad verse 36, Surah Saba verse 12, and Surah Al-Anbiya verse 81. Imam al-Baghawi explained that the wind is sometimes gentle and sometimes windy, sometimes hot and sometimes cold. Ibn Abbas said, "The greatest of Allah's soldiers are the wind and the water, and the wind is called the wind because it cools the soul. The wind is from the Spirit of Allah. It brings mercy and punishment, so when you see it, do not curse it. Ask Allah for its good, and seek refuge with Allah from its evil." So too, if we reflect on the wisdom behind the fire disaster that hit Los Angeles last week and relate it to the threat of the elected President of the United States, Donald Trump, who will make Gaza, Palestine, a hell. This disaster is also a lesson for humanity in general, that power and wealth cannot protect someone from God's punishment. The magnificent buildings that burned down, the assets worth trillions of rupiah that were destroyed, all show that nothing is eternal in this world. Only God has absolute power, and humans must submit to Him. The Great Fire that hit America is a reminder of the law of cause and effect in Islam. Injustice will never be allowed by God, and this disaster is one way God shows His power. Muslims must learn from this incident, increase their faith, and believe that God's justice will always be present at the most appropriate time. Los Angeles is a city full of contrasts, diversity, and dynamics. Famous for its status as the world's entertainment center, especially through the Hollywood film industry, Los Angeles has an extraordinary appeal to people from all over the world. The city is home to a large population of people from diverse cultural, religious, and ethnic backgrounds, making it one of the most multicultural cities in the world. The city is a city in the U.S. state of California. It has a population of about 4 million. In the U.S., it is the second largest city after New York and one of the most populous metropolitan areas in the world. Los Angeles is a center of business, international trade, entertainment, culture, media, fashion, science, sports, technology, and education. In terms of progress, it is at the forefront and is the third richest city in the world. It is the fifth most powerful and influential city in the world. In terms of geography, Los Angeles also has amazing natural diversity. The stunning beaches along the Pacific Ocean, such as Venice Beach and Santa Monica, offer a relaxed atmosphere that contrasts with the density of urban life in the city center. In addition, the mountains and national parks surrounding the city provide space for outdoor activities, such as hiking and biking. Los Angeles is home to Hollywood, widely known as the center of the film industry. As the base of Hollywood, Los Angeles is dubbed the entertainment capital of the world, leading the way in the creation of world-class television productions, video games, and recorded music. The city's entertainment business has encouraged many celebrities to settle in Los Angeles. The city is also known for its vibrant nightlife, world-class restaurants, and shopping and arts centers that reflect creativity and innovation. However, behind the glitz and glamour, Los Angeles also faces major challenges, such as social inequality, poverty, and traffic congestion that are daily problems for many of its residents. Los Angeles is a city that never sleeps, always moving forward with high spirits, but also often facing complex social and economic problems. This city is a symbol of unlimited dreams and ambitions, but also a place where the realities of life can be harsh and challenging. Los Angeles, although known for its success and beauty, also faces various challenges that make it a city of very real contrasts. On one side, there are magnificent skyscrapers, world-class arts and entertainment centers, and seemingly endless opportunities for those who want to achieve their dreams. On the other side, there are areas of poverty, homelessness, and social inequality that are major challenges for the government and the people of this city. Daily life in Los Angeles is often characterized by a reliance on cars, with world-renowned traffic jams. Despite the existence of a public transportation system, private vehicles remain the primary choice for many, creating a stressful routine for motorists. The city also faces environmental challenges, such as air pollution and the threat of frequent wildfires that plague the surrounding area, especially during the dry season. However, Los Angeles is also known for its resilient spirit and the ability of its citizens to continually adapt to any challenge that comes their way. The communities in the city often show incredible resilience, supporting one another in the face of adversity, as seen in the many disasters or crises that have hit the city. The city, despite its many problems, remains a symbol of resilience, diversity, and hope for many. Ultimately, Los Angeles is a city full of dreams, challenges, and wonder. For many, LA is a place to start a career, explore new opportunities, or even just pursue happiness. But beneath all the glitz and glamour, the city teaches us that life is truly about facing and overcoming challenges and finding meaning in community and resilience. Muslim life in Los Angeles is quite dynamic and diverse. Los Angeles is a very multicultural city, with Muslim communities coming from various ethnic backgrounds, including Arab, African American, South Asian, and others. Muslims here are involved in various fields, such as education, business, arts, and social activism. There are also various organizations and institutions that provide services to the Muslim community, such as religious centers, schools, and charities. Regarding mosques, Los Angeles has more than 50 mosques and Islamic centers spread across various parts of the city. These mosques serve as places of worship, social centers, education, and meeting places for Muslims. In addition, some mosques also provide special programs to support the integration of Muslims into the general community, such as English language courses, religious instruction, and interfaith activities. With a growing community, Muslims in Los Angeles continue to strive to maintain and strengthen their identity in a pluralistic social context. The Muslim community in Los Angeles is also very active in social and interfaith activities, which aim to build good relationships with other religious and cultural groups. These include interfaith dialogue events, volunteering to help those in need, and campaigns to raise awareness of Islam among non-Muslims. Many mosques and Islamic organizations also hold special events, such as during Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha celebrations, and breaking the fast together to foster solidarity. In addition, several mosques in Los Angeles have also become important places for young Muslims, offering self-development programs, sports, and recreational activities. Many of these mosques have Islamic schools that teach religious subjects as well as general knowledge, to help educate the next generation in a deeper understanding of religion and skills useful for everyday life. In addition, Muslims in Los Angeles are also involved in various forms of dawah and teaching, whether through social media, podcasts, seminars, or educational programs, to address stereotypes and misinformation about Islam. There are also several Muslim figures from Los Angeles who are well known in the entertainment, sports, and political fields, who have played a role in building a positive image of Muslims in the general public. The fire that occurred in Los Angeles was finally extinguished, and the moment coincided with the call to prayer. This can be seen as a sign of blessing and help from Allah. Many people feel that this incident brings hope and peace, while also showing how in every event, the power and greatness of Allah is always present. The moment when the fire was successfully extinguished along with the call to prayer became a symbol of the miracle and power of prayer. For many people, this is a reminder that in every difficulty, there is a way out provided by God, and often that help comes in unexpected ways. The call to prayer, which is a call to worship, can also be a call to return to peace of mind and faith, especially in critical times such as fires that threaten safety. On the one hand, this incident can be seen as proof that God hears the prayers of His people and that every event, big or small, is inseparable from His destiny. Many people around the fire location may have felt comforted and given strength to continue trying, with the belief that everything happens with His permission and destiny. Togetherness in prayer in the spirit of never giving up convey the message that in every disaster, there is an opportunity for revival and learning. The miracle that occurred when the fire was successfully extinguished along with the call to prayer can also be interpreted as a reminder to always be grateful and strengthen our spiritual bonds. In times of tension and anxiety, we often feel trapped in trouble. But this incident reminds us that at all times, we need to rely on God for help. The call to prayer heard in the midst of a disaster may bring peace to those who hear it, making us aware that we are always watched over and given His guidance. In addition, this event may also be a reminder of the importance of togetherness and solidarity in facing life's trials. The community that came together to extinguish the fire, as well as the prayers offered by many people, provided positive energy that accelerated recovery and reduced fear. In many religious traditions, disasters and calamities are often seen as tests, but also as a way to strengthen human relationships with God. With all the events that occurred, the fire that was extinguished taught us a lesson about the power of prayer, the resilience of humanity in facing trials, and the importance of always renewing hope in God, especially when we feel out of control. This is a reminder for us to always rely on and pray and appreciate every second of life that is given. May Los Angeles and all its citizens always be under the protection of God, given safety, peace, and blessings. May the disasters and calamities that occur can be valuable lessons, and the city is always protected from all disasters. May God also always give strength to those affected to recover and rise again stronger. May those who are being tested with various difficulties and disasters continue to be given fortitude, patience, and strength by God. Life's trials, although difficult, are part of the process of increasing faith and piety. May every individual who faces these trials feel peace of mind, remain steadfast in their faith, and always feel close to Allah, the all-knowing and all-merciful. May they be given the best way out and all their affairs be made easy soon. Every disaster or calamity that occurs is a test and reprimand from Allah to remind us to always be grateful, improve ourselves, and draw closer to Him. In every trial, we are invited to introspect whether we have walked the right path and whether we have worshipped enough with all our hearts. As Muslims, it is very important for us to pray for each other and support each other, both in happy and difficult times. Our prayers for each other can be a source of strength and hope, as well as a form of our solidarity as a united people. Hopefully, by praying for each other, we can pass every test patiently and sincerely, and always receive help and mercy from Allah. In addition to prayer, we are also encouraged to help each other and provide real support, both materially and morally, so that those who are tested can feel that they are not alone and that there is goodness in this world that is still going on. This is the essence of Islamic Brotherhood, namely looking after and caring for each other, regardless of differences. May Allah always give strength and help to all of us, and always keep us under His protection. Friends of the Islamic faith who are blessed by Allah, I hope this video is useful, and see you in our next video.